Well, hello and happy Easter, Celeste and Paul, Daniel, Kathy Ellen, James. I'm wishing you happy Easter, but when this tape gets to you, it will be way past Easter, but it's Easter Sunday evening, I guess around 7:30, and I decided tonight to sit here and make you a tape. It seems like I've kind of haven't kept in touch too well lately while we were on vacation down in Florida, why I missed a week writing. So I'll try and catch up on tell you some of the things that have been going on here. How are all you little people doing? Daniel, I'm sure you're getting to be more of a little man every day. And have you done any singing? Do you sing in church? You've got a good singing voice, and I think everybody likes to hear you sing. I can imagine how nice you look when you get all dressed up to go to church or to go anywhere. And then Kathy Allen, my goodness, you're such a pretty little girl. You always look so pretty, and I imagine you're doing a lot of singing these days, are you? Do you help Mommy with the baby? And how's that little guy? I bet he's getting big, little James. Mommy says he's got 4 teeth now. I would just love to see him, and would love to see all of you. Think about you a whole lot. Well, Celeste, Paul, are you pretty well settled now, all unpacked and down to the nitty-gritty with your life? You're pretty well settled in? And I imagine your season has probably changed, that it's getting colder and you get plenty of rain, I suppose. Well, here we're moving towards spring, although the past week has been almost all rain and just cold, disagreeable, windy weather. On the Mike Christman was on spring break from the 1st of April until tomorrow, 2 full weeks. And so Mary asked if I would go with them for 4 days down to Disney World. So we flew out of here on Sunday evening at Midway Airlines out of Chicago on a Sunday evening on the 1st of April, and got down to Orlando. And we spent 4 days there. There's an awful lot to see. We spent a day at Kennedy Space Center. That was really tremendous. It was well worth seeing. And we spent another day at Busch Gardens, which was altogether different, but real enjoyable too. The exotic type animals and birds and fish that they have at Busch Gardens, it's really outstanding. And then there was 2 days at Disney World. The new MGM section of Disney World concentrates on how movies are made, and it was they're constructed right there on the MGM lot. Props of old-time United States, things that they use in certain movies. And there was a lot of real interesting things there at MGM. Then we spent a day at Epcot, which was really enjoyable too. And the weather was nice while we were in Florida. One day it was really warm. In fact, when we came back to the motel from being at the park all day, about 9 o'clock at night, Mary and Mike went for a swim in the outdoor pool. It was that warm, and they found it pretty relaxing after being out in the air, all day. And we came back on Friday of last week. We flew back into Midway, and Mary just drove in there and parked her car. That Midway has pretty good parking areas around the airport. So then after we all came back here, and then Mary and Mike stayed all through this past week. They were here at my house, and she was off work and Mike was off school. And they did a lot around here that they wanted to do. Mike spent about two and a half days out in Wheeler at Mary Lou's house with Danny and Jennifer, and they just enjoy each other. I mean, Mary Lou just treats him like one of the family, and he has a lot of fun there, and relations seem good with that family. They go down and visit Grandma Chrisman, and they do all kinds of crazy things. They played Monopoly almost all night Friday night, and then Mary Lou brought him to church on Good Friday afternoon, and Mary and Ellen and I did some shopping and different things. It was kind of a relaxing week. We didn't push anything too much, and Ellen got over several days, and it was just a relaxing kind of a thing. And so then this morning, Mary and Mike and I went to 7:30 Mass, and Mary got up overhead in the crawl space, and she got almost all of her things from the crawl space in my house, got them into her car and took them back with her. And then there's still some things in the garage. She really loaded her car down, but she's getting most of her things out of here because, well, for one thing, now she has room in her garage and in her crawl space, because I think Janie has gotten just about all of her things out of Mary's garage and crawl space. So, and then Mary's getting her things out of here. And this will open up room that if Randy and Ellen sell their house, which they haven't yet, they thought they did. They thought that it was sold, but it fell through. I mean, there was a problem, a misunderstanding with a man regarding the loan, and so they haven't sold it yet. But if they do sell it and they don't purchase another house right away, so that if they have to move out, why, they're going to plan to move their things in here. Ellen's going to have a pretty big rummage sale this summer, and she's going to get rid of a lot of stuff, and I'm going to get rid of a lot of stuff, and so that they can live here until they find the kind of a house, that they want. And so it was good Mary getting her things, down there to her house. So Mary called about 4:30 and said that they had gotten home and they were, all unpacked and settled in to start back to work and school tomorrow. I don't know if I told you or not that I had torn the paper off my bedroom, and I scrubbed the walls down and painted all the woodwork's painted white now, fresh coat of paint, and then the walls are kind of a robin egg color blue. And Ellen helped me with the painting. I mean, it was hard cutting the blue walls into the white ceiling, getting it, and Ellen did that part. And then there was a big hole in that bedroom wall, the wall that adjoins the cupboard in the hall. Why that big hole was cut there, I never did understand, but Randy took the frame down that was around it, and he filled it all in with plasterboard, just made it a solid wall. He did a real neat job of it. And then that's painted blue. You can't even tell that there was a hole there. So then I got new blinds and a new little white curtain for the window. So that room it looks clean. I mean, Ellen and I, we both figured that for that size room, I'd have to put 2 coats of blue paint on, and we did, because part of the wall was painted yellow and part was white, and a lot of places had to be filled in. Well, after we had put the 2 coats of paint on, we hadn't even used just a little more than half of the 1 gallon, but I can't take it back because they mixed it. They added the color that we wanted. So I said, something in this house is going to be painted blue and white again. I'm not going to just let that paint set, So there's still 2 more bedrooms, and I don't know, one of these days I'll get around to to getting the paper off of those rooms, but I'm just going to wait and see what happens with Ellen and Randy. Did you get your washer adjusted so that it stops when it's supposed to? And I've been wondering too, Celeste, did you ever get results on the Pap test? Sure hope everything was okay there. Are you feeling okay? Paul keeping well? And I hope the children are all keeping well. I'm not sure, but I think this tape may be... Well, I'll leave it go a little bit longer. It was Daddy's anniversary, the year that he's been dead. It was on the 5th, and we were in Florida at that time. But I look back over my life in the past year, it's really been different than any other year I've ever had in my life. All the years that we did so many things together, everything we did was together, and it makes a difference. But God has been awfully good to me during this year. I think I'm going to turn this tape over. I think it's about to run out.